Hello, hi. Today we are going to introduce some basic command of the CentOS. The command I will introduce is for the operation team. Basically, it's for the Devops, right? Here we will not involve with some very basic command like lscd or pwd. It's not for that part of the command, but instead it's just for some system monitor or system maintain, just for that part command. Before that, like I say, I already built about 5 VMs so far. So because this purpose is in the final picture, we'll build a Kubernetes cluster. So during this command testing, I don't want the input will impact the hard disk. So for each one, I already built a snapshot. I give a name called initiate, right? Each one already has the defined initiate snapshot. So this snapshot is very useful when you do some testing. When you finish some testing, you just need to lower back. Okay, and to build a snapshot is also very easy. For example, here you just click here take, then give a name, then click OK. And you can put the date or just give some description, and then just click OK. Then you will create a new screen, the snapshot. And when you just want to going back, you just going back, just use later I will show you how to just lower back the original setting. And now because of 5 VM they are the same actually, so I just randomly to select one of them. Like I say, I reserve 200, 201 up to 205 for the 3 master node and the 2 working node. I just use the node 2, working node 2 as the example. So from my Ubuntu desktop client, I SSH to it. So again, the same command, right? So here just the basically CentOS system. Like I say, CentOS is the same as Red Hat. So you can, if in your company you use Red Hat, you can still use the same command. The first command I will introduce is called W. W is you can show you some information. First, it just means currently system time, right? If you set up NTP, and that should be reflect the real time. And also the already up for about 5 hours because I set up 5 hours ago, and currently have 2 users. One user is logging from console because here I use one console. You can see this is console. I open from the VirtualBox. This is from the TTY, just like a console, a local terminal, right? And it's running bash. Okay. And the second one is remote logging. This is 159. It's my Ubuntu client IP address. I logging from here. So this one TTY type is called PDS, and how many login time, and this one the command they are using. So this is the W command can show you what kind of information you especially for how many user and is running currently log into this system. And here's just load average. Here's 3 column, mean 1 minute average, 5 minutes average, and 15 minutes average. And the number 0, that means currently the load is pretty low, right? Not high. For my VM, I think you may remember I assigned about 1 CPU and 2 gig memory to this VM. So you can see to verify, you can see process, I think CPU information. So you can see here the virtual CPU only 1, right? So it begins from 0. If you assign the 2 CPU to this VM, you can see process 0 and process 1. So that means this we don't run too many process, too many program currently in this VM. So it's only be 0, right? So ideally, If you want full use the CPU, ideally number should be 1 because I have 1 core, right? So I have in the past 1 minute the load should be 1. That means how many process is using the CPU, but currently it's 0 because I didn't run any program right now. And the other command is called uptime. That's similar as the W, the first row here. You can see here. It also tell you how many uptime and how many user, for example. One more very useful command is called vmstat. Here they can tell you the CPU and memory and also the hard disk. R just means a running program is for CPU. Currently, we have 2 processes running on CPU. B just means block. How many processes being blocked? Block means some program is running on CPU, but maybe he's waiting for some information from network or waiting for some information from hard disk. So if we are in that case, you will see some number here. Swap, you may know that due to the physical memory is not enough, right? Because we were only 2 gig. Currently, it's okay. We didn't run too many programs. But in future, if we begin to run MySQL database or like run the NGX or like run firewall, so all of them will need a lot of memory. So if the physical memory is not enough, 2 gig is not enough, they will use swap. Swap is located in the hard disk. Use space to simulate the memory. So cyber need to transfer from physical to hard disk from swap or from swap back to memory, right? But in our case, don't have too many program running so far, so swap is 0. Also, SI means swap in and swap out, also be 0 so far. At least 3 buffer cache is mean the physical memory. Remember, we have about 2 gig memory, right? So here's 1.5 gig is free, so pretty good. And buffer cache is just if you know some advanced algorithm of the memory, you will know that there's some buffer based on some special algorithm. Okay, and BO mean physical hard disk reading. I mean reading, O mean writing. Again, 7 mean there's about 7% hard disk I/O is happening, so it's not so high. BO just mean currently is 0. That means currently no program try to writing to hard disk. This means very important performance of the hard disk. And US SYID, this 3 is for the CPU. Yes, in the Linux, CPU have 2 major category. One for system itself, like the Linux itself, like the hard disk I/O or some process handle. This is system level. User just mean user level, like I install some MySQL database or install other Python program. This is called user space, right? So idle just mean it's free. Basically just the name idle. So usually these 3 value add together, they should be 100, which is in this case. In our case, 100 is idle, nothing for the user plan, and also nothing for the system plan. So it's pretty good. WA means wait. Wait just means in case you have CPU very busy, CPU already run 100%, and that means some process they cannot be handled regularly. So they need to wait for the other process to release the CPU first. So here you can see some number. That means they are waiting for CPU. But in our case, it's pretty good. We didn't run anything, so WA is also 0 so far. Okay, and now the third one is called top. Top, maybe you know that basically list the CPU, also memory, right? The usage here. When you go into it, if you're using top, This one will be refreshed maybe every 3 seconds. You can see it keep changing, right? Currently, we don't have too many process, so you cannot see it change too many things. But in the real production environment, maybe there's a lot of process is running at the same time. So you can see here, every 3 seconds will uh, be refreshed yet. So when you can see the program still running, you didn't quit it yet. If you want to quit it, just use Q, then quit it. Okay, if in case I need to let the system to be run about, how about we do this way first? Here we can just pay attention. The first line you can see still be the same. How many hour already be up, right? And totally how many user. Here's the same. 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes average for CPU. And here's how many process is running so far, and totally 94, and one is real running. I'm not sure which one, because from here you can see this status, right? Status, all of them are as for sleep. If you do see the only one running, you should see the call R mean running. You can see here, okay, top link R, okay, good. But all of them currently is sleeping. 93 is sleeping, and 0 stop and 0 zombie. Zombie just for some abnormal situation happen, like the main program be killed. So the children program still running, but it cannot be called by the other pro uh, grade anymore. So in that case, the process will become zombie. Okay, and here's the same CPU. You can see US mean user plan percentage, system percentage, uh, idle. So this is 1, 2, and 4. The idle should be the 100. This is NI mean a special meaning. I think it should be some priority for CPU, but I'm not sure. But usually we don't need to take about it. We just care about is user plan, system, and also the idle. Okay. This one mean the wait. Just like I say, I mean how many process waiting for CPU. This is for hardware interrupt, software interrupt, right? This one also no, usually no need to pay too many attention to it. And here for physical memory, and here for the swap link hard disk, right? So in our case, we assign 200 meg for swap. Remember when we set up the CentOS, I let the system use the default partition, right? Usually default partition, maybe you just use about 200 meg. I'm not sure. So in this case, so in our case, not too many process running, so every process uses physical only. Total is 2 gig memory, and 1.5 is free, and size used and size for buffer only, right? For the swap, they are all 0 so far. And here's the every 3 seconds they will update this table. You can see the real time process. By default, they sort by CPU, and also it's the descending from the high to low, right? If you want to use memory as a sorting, use the uh, use the shift M. Yeah, now you can see easily. I can give you some information. Use the capital M. It's based on the memory sorting. Okay, and if a capital P, that means go back to original CPU sorting. Okay, so here I already use the capital M, so you can see memory always be file, or memory is more stable. CPU maybe you change it time to time, right? When you use CPU, your uh, your program be the number one. If you didn't release yet, your program go to a button. But memory usually still stable. When the program running out, you claim how many memory, so it always be stable, right? So this one firewall, you claim about 1.6 is number one, right? So if you want to go back, just use the capital P again. So you're coming back as a CPU, as the sorting, right? And also, actually, you can use the PID as sorting. Also, use the user as sorting. The key just use the shift and use the great and uh, the last. Like you this one, use shift key and plus this one means sorting one by one from left to right, and the other one is the other direction from right to left. So from here you can see uh, uh, sorting based on different column. And when you finish this view, you just use Q to go up. Okay, so this is some information you can get on from the top. And oh, sorry, I have forget to introduce this one. Timer just mean totally from the beginning to now, how many second or how many millisecond this process already used, right? This one already used maybe is 1.3 second totally, right? Because they just need to CPU is might divide by millisecond. 1 millisecond assigned to one process, the other millisecond assigned to the other process. They just do this way to keep a schedule one by one, right? So let me here just mean the total so far, how many time already be assigned to this special process. And the other command is dash C, just mean you can see different, right? The command is they give you the full information, the absolute path, where's the file. This is more information about what kind of command you are using for this top. Okay, and the other is when you use a top, you always keep to refreshing every 3 seconds. It's good for human being. We can see the real time, but it's not good for some script. Script want to they want to get the output right away and save to the output to some file for analyze, right? So if you want to do that way, usually we can use the command called bn1. That means only get one time output, then quit. Here this one, you can see very quit right away, right? You will not keep refreshing anymore, but it will give you the full information. If you didn't use this parameter, you will only give you one page, right? It didn't give you more information, but use this parameter, you can give you full information. No matter how many process, you can give you 3 page or 4 page in the same time. Also, if you run one time, it quit right away. So if you want to know more parameter, you can use the main top to see what kind of parameter you can give to top. Also, you can see dash B and dash N and get more information here, just like a regular command layer. And also, if we want to go to top, if we want to see some special, because yes, there is so many column here, right? If we want to know how to add the column information, how to sorting, how to put a sequence, you can type in F. So you can see here, right? You can see currently I only show the PID user and every row with the star, let me already appear in the column. But if you want to see more information like a group ID and TTY information, then you just type in star. Then when you go back, you can see add one more column or two more column. Okay, I think that's so far for the 3 command W, vmstat, also top. Thank you for watching. Thank you.